Oh my God, I'm sorry. Great afternoon. Great afternoon. Happy Thursday. Today is what, March the 2nd? Okay, let me say something. Where is the time going? Okay, where is the time going? It was just Christmas, right? We was just sitting in my foyer um doing vision boards. So what happened? I guess the vision board party happened really what, the first weekend in January, but it's already Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. And I want to say good afternoon to all of my beautiful males and females out there. Make sure that you let everybody know about the Falling in Love with Yourself Again social media pages and email addresses, right? We want to make sure you stay connected. We want to make sure that you pre-register. You want to go to the website, which is fallinginlovewithmyselfagain.com. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. So make sure you guys reach out to everybody, let them know that they want to join this awesome, awesome, awesome community. Now, let me tell you why we decided to get, oh gosh, wait a minute. My little dress is showing all my goodies, right? Why we decided to start Fall in Love with Yourself Again. It's a lot of different things that's going on in the world, right? And sometimes we feel like we're the only ones that's going through it, which is not necessarily so. If you like me, I'm not really big on social media. I like to post my team. I like to edify and I like to repost things that I see out there. But I'm personally am not a person that likes to uh, be visual on social media. And so a lot of people have used social media as an outlet, right, to reach out, which I think is a beautiful thing, because what happens is when you do that, you realize that you're not the only ones that's going through what you're going through, right? You don't feel alone, right? Sometimes we feel like our story is our story. We're the only ones that are being affected, and we're the only ones that's going through what we're going through, and that's not true, right? So we decided to, or actually, with the help of my wonderful, wonderful friend, marketing person, and business partner, Tanya, because she corrected me today. Her name is not Tanya, it's Tanya Rockamore. All these years I've been knowing her, she's allowed me to call her Tanya. And I assumed it was Tanya because it was spelled Tanya. But she corrected me today and told me, no, it's Tanya Rockamore. Well, she heard me say Tanya, right? And so I want to make sure that I call her by her right name. But she came up with falling in love with yourself again because she said that she wanted to fall in love with herself again. And I thought to myself, wow, if she feels that way, then a lot of people feel that way also, right? So I decided to come together with her, with Kenny, oops, and with my staff to create this platform, which is Falling in Love with Yourself Again platform, right? And so I'm so excited because a lot of people have already received their kits. If you haven't received your kit, if someone invited you to join the group page, I want you to visit our website at Fall in Love with Yourself Again, fallinlovewithyourselfagain.com. That way you will receive your beautiful, beautiful kit. Look at this kit. I know you guys have seen, those of you who have already joined, have seen the videos that have been going out with everyone who has received their kit, right? Isn't this beautiful? Look at this kit. Now, I'm going to talk to you about this $10,000, right? We have a contest, right? We have a contest starting on Monday, March the 6th, right? But before we get to that, we're going to talk about this kit. Look at this kit, right? Look how beautiful this kit is. Look at this. And when you open the kit, look what's inside the kit, right? Look at this. Look at this. This kit is absolutely beautiful. And it's a great conversation piece, right? You need your kit in order to participate in the $10,000, 10 months, 10 days at a time challenge, right? Let me tell you what comes in this kit. It's $99. You get this beautiful kit. You'll receive 5 of the Vicia Detox Tea, which is right here. The Vicia Detox Tea. This is going to cleanse your colon, right? It's going to help you sleep better. It's going to make your skin look good. And it's also going to help you lose some weight, because you know when you cleanse your colon, you lose weight, if that is your goal, right? You receive 30, let me back up, 30 samples. I'm sorry. What am I saying? You receive 10 samples of the Valet 30. This is your liquid vitamin. Look at this. Look at this. It fits so cute. Look, 5 and 5, right? You have 5 to your left, 5 to your right, right? Your Valet 30, that's your liquid vitamins. It replenishes you, give you all the vitamins and minerals and all the good things that you need, biotin, everything that you need from A to Z. Then you're going to receive 1, right, 25. Now, this is a free sample, right? They just threw this in for you, right? Which is 25, which is liquid collagen, right? You want to look young. You want to feel young. You want to start now. Don't wait until it's too late. My husband tells me all the time that I look fine. I look preserved, and I don't look like I'm 53, right? But that's because I started taking supplements over 10 years ago, right? And I'm excited that I have this liquid collagen, right? Because I was taking collagen capsules, and we all know that liquid gets to the bloodstream faster. So I'm excited about this 25. I want to be 25, right? I wish I was 20 again. I want to be at home where my mom and dad pay bills. Or should I say my mom, not my dad. Anyway, the next thing we have in here is our Flare pouches. Look at this. Flare. Energy. Natural energy, right? B12, B6. What else you have in here? Vitamin A, which is very important, right? So these are the things that comes inside your kit. And this kit is only $99. Now, if you want to participate in the challenge and receive the $10,000, you have to get your kit today, right? They're being mailed out as we speak. A lot of people have already received their kits, and I'm so excited about that. Now, all the information to participate in the $10,000 10 months, 10 days, 10 months weight loss challenge will be posted on Sunday, March the 5th, right? And day 1 is going to be Monday, March the 6th. So you'll know everything you need to know in order to get started. Also, you need this, your daily reader, right? Iyanla Vanzant, Acts of Faith. This book has been such a blessing, right? I remember when it first came out years ago. I love Iyanla Vanzant. And so this daily meditation book is awesome. And it's so funny because today's word was talking about uh, getting outside your comfort zone, right? And so this live is one of the things that is me getting outside of my comfort zone. I'm not really comfortable with being in the forefront. I love being behind the scenes, right? Um, but I have decided that I do need to get out, right? Because a lot of people want to hear from me. A lot of people like to hear from me, and they want to hear about what I have to say. Not that what I have to say is always right, and not that what I have to say is golden, because I do believe that until you walk in someone's shoes, you don't know what you'll do and when you'll do it. But I think it's very important, right, to be able to be comfortable in the skin you're in, and for me to get out of my comfort zone. So if you haven't received your book yet, you can go to Amazon. You'll receive it tomorrow quickly, right? Quickly. I ordered one today for a beautiful young lady. I'm not going to mention her name, but I ordered one today for her, and she will receive it on tomorrow. It's a surprise. A surprise, right? Hold on one second. Let me drink my coffee. So do you all have y'all coffee? Do you all have your cocktails? Because it's not only coffee and conversations, but it could be cocktails and conversations, right? I didn't want to have a cocktail this evening because, I need to have my mind right to be able to talk to you guys, especially since I'm operating in an area that I'm not really comfortable with. You see this cup? The boss. I am the boss, okay? At least I like to think so, right? Anyway, before we get started, I'm going to put my little lovely, can y'all see my little lovely? Fall in love with yourself again. I'm going to block it. Maybe I should put it over here so you guys can see it while I'm talking, right? Oh, I need to move it over some. There we go. There we go. See, yeah. And definitely go get your acts of faith because it's very, 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 very important. What else did I need to tell you guys before I bring up my awesome and amazing guest? So back to the reason why we came up with Fall in Love with Yourself Again. We're going to have all type of resources, right? For people to be able to have, we have the Me Call, right? The Me Meditation Call, Monday through Friday. Every morning at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Is it 7 a.m. Central Standard Time? I think so, right? It's a dial-in number. Let me let you know, just in case you don't, about the Me Call, right? When in doubt, pull it up. That's right. Oh my God, it's 6 a.m. That's right. I forgot. It's early, real early. Too early for me, right? Because I don't get up that early. But you have to understand, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time is 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and it's 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So that's early. So it is Monday through Friday, daily encouragement call, right? The morning encouragement call. That's what Me stands for. I just love that Me. The Me call. Me, right? Also, what I love about the Falling in Love with Yourself website is we have a page where we lift people up and encourage people, right? I want to take the time out to lift up the Lott family, right? Tamika and Ronald Lott. Tamika lost her father recently, and she's having a very, 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 very difficult time. And so is Ronald. I briefly talked to him the other day, and I actually conversed with him, not verbally, but through text, and they're having a very, very, very difficult time. I think he's going to be laid to rest this weekend. And so I want you guys to keep them and everyone else that you know that have lost a loved one in prayer. And for those of you who lost fur babies, I lost my fur baby, one of my fur babies, last Monday on President's Day. My new fur baby, my new addition to the family, Rich, my little little miniature poodle passed away last Monday. And so last week was a difficult time for me. So, but this week I'm feeling better. I'm feeling encouraged and I'm feeling excited, right? Yes, 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 Mr. Gilbert. Prayers for Tamika and Ronald Lott, right? Because losing a loved one is very hard. It's very difficult. I have a girlfriend named Crystal Hatchett who lost her father too as well. We want to keep them lifted up in prayer. Um, I lost my cousin back in December, and it's very difficult. It's very hard when you lose a loved one. So reach out to people, reach out, right? And so that's what falling in love with yourself again is about. It's also about resources, right? Being connected, not only being connected with people with like-minded stories and being able to come on and share your experiences, but also to receive information, right? You may need some health information. You may need some financial information, right? You may need a prayer. You may need someone to lift you up in spirit. And so that's what the falling in love with myself again, oh, excuse me, uh, community is about. Falling in love with you. Falling in love with you if you've never been in love with you. That's important too, because some people have never been in love with themselves before, right? It's so important for you to love yourself. If I'd have known I was going to have all this trouble with this little top here, I would have wore something differently. But anyway, let me not get sidetracked because it's easy for me to do that. Okay. So before we get started, because I'm so excited about the two guests. This call is going to be every Thursday, right? Every Thursday. And every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be featuring a new person that has some information to share, right? Because sharing is caring. And when you hear somebody else's story, you may be able to relate. It may help you feel better. It may help you grow as a person. You may learn something. This is a place of information, right? And during that process of you receiving the information, we want you to fall in love with yourself again. So the first person we're going to bring up this evening is going to be the lovely, beautiful Joyce Lee. Joyce Lee, are you out there? Are you ready, girl? Hey, Joyce.
Hey, girl. How are you doing?
I'm good, Joyce. How are you?
I am beautiful. So are you. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you, Joyce. Look, I made my own face up today. Right, right, right. Did I do a good job?
Girl, you did absolutely amazing. I did a
I
little
tried.
something.
I tried. I tried to do a little something, something, little something,
Look,
something.
look, look. Are we twinsy?
I know, right? I know. So this was my gift from my husband for, for Christmas. This was
I
one of my
love
gifts
that.
from Kenny. Yes. Because he says that when I walk around the house, I don't walk around with my phone, right? And he be trying to call me. People be trying to call me. And I just have the phone sitting down. I can't walk around the house with my phone on. So he said, you
Oh,
know
of course
what?
not.
I'm going to get this watch, right? And I'm going to make
Right?
sure that you can be reached all the time. I'm going to have to give me some other bands, though, because my girlfriend
Me
told me,
too.
yeah, that I can get some different bands and swap out. So let me tell you something, Joyce.
Yes.
The last time we talked, the last time I got a chance to see your pretty face, and the last time we had a very long conversation was during the vision board party. I know, girl, sip. When I heard, I was
Girl.
devastated. What?
Girl. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I want to applaud you, though, for having the courage to get on here not even 2 months later and share your story.
Wow.
Not only did you lose your grandmother, which is so difficult, and you know what? I have learned to, I know that it sounds crazy, and I know that you're on your spiritual journey, and of course, I'm on my spiritual journey too, and I have been for some time now. And of course, I'm not perfect, right?
Me either. Me either.
But I try to treat people the way I want to be treated, and I try to look at the positive in everything, right?
Right.
But of course, things hurt. We cry. We go through our transition. You know, we are upset. We throw things, and you know, we do all of those things. We have emotions, right? And so,
Absolutely.
my grandmother passed away in 2017, and I don't know, it was like it's the matriarch of the family, you know, the
Yeah.
person that keeps everything together, right?
Absolutely.
And but how old was your grandmother when she passed?
She was 83.
83. Okay, my grandmother was 84. And it's so
Wow.
funny because I mean 87, I apologize. It was
Mm-hmm.
so funny because we want them to be here forever, right?
Ever.
Forever and ever and ever and ever,
Forever.
right?
And why is it like that?
Well,
Why? Like,
because
I just thought she was just going to live forever. And my son, my 24-year-old son, said, "Mom, I just don't understand how you and grandma, which is my mother, you know, he says, I don't understand how you and grandma always think that people gonna live forever." I was like, because she's just a strong woman. She's
mm-hmm,
just that foundation. I
mm-hmm,
mean, she's the one that taught me everything I know to this
mm-hmm,
day.
mm-hmm,
Everything
mm-hmm,
that you know about me, my personality, everything. She's that woman. Yes,
mm-hmm,
my mom
mm-hmm.
had a lot to do with it too, but you have to understand I'm an only child. I was the first
Yeah.
grandchild,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
and I hung around all the older folks, so I have a lot of
Okay.
old soul in me, you know. So I was that way all the way up until my first cousin came along, and I would say I was until let me see, I'm about 5 years older than her.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm 5 years older than my cousin that came behind me.
Right.
So I was around the old folks all the time.
Right.
You
Well,
know.
let me tell you what I did. And I had already made up in my mind because what I realized is when everybody's not going to live forever, right? And especially with my grandmother, I started already conditioning myself like most people do when they start getting older, that you never know when that day is going to come because it's going to come soon, right?
It's gonna come soon.
It's going to come soon, right? Because they're older, right? Because how long? I mean, yeah, she may have lived to be 90 or 100, but you know, how long, right? And the bad thing about it is my grandmother was suffering from a lot of different things. She had heart problems. She was Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
She had a bad liver, so she had to go to
Yeah.
dialysis, and she was fighting
Right.
against that. And so, really, the person that I knew wasn't really that same person anymore. Sometimes she remembered, you know, who everybody was, and sometimes she didn't. She
Mm-hmm.
would get upset and wouldn't want to go to dialysis and try to jump out of the car when I was driving. And
Wow.
so then I started talking to myself and talking to God and saying, do I want her here for me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Am I being selfish? And I was
Right.
being selfish because
Yeah.
her time here was up. You
Mm-hmm.
know, her time here was up.
Mm-hmm.
And really it's a beautiful thing because God only gives us 70 years, right? And for her to
Mm-hmm.
live to be your grandmother to live to be 83, that's
Mm-hmm.
a blessing.
It is a blessing.
People are passing away so
So
early. Like
early.
people are not even able to be 10 or 12 or 20 or 40 or 50. They're just dying so young. And so to be
So
able to be,
young.
even to be 53, you know, I'm
What's
blessed
you
to
53?
be, I'm 53,
No, not you.
girl. Yes,
Uh-uh. Girl,
I am, girl.
what you taking? What you
Collagen,
drinking?
vitamins,
How I get
getting me
oh
some rest, getting some sleep, God, not stressing about
period.
things that you don't have any control over,
That's what I'm talking about.
letting go and letting God,
Seriously,
because we are not in control.
we're not.
And you know what? I want to go back to what you said about all the things that your grandmother taught you. So your grandmother already gave you all the lessons that you needed to know in order to pass that on
Mm-hmm.
to your
Yes.
friends, your son, your neighbors, your co-workers, the falling in love with yourself again family. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm sorry that I did not know that your grandmother had passed away. I'm sorry to hear that because that was just a few weeks right after the vision board
Yeah.
party. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sorry that I wasn't there for you to be able to give you a hug or just to send you some love and some kisses. But do know that she lived a long, full, beautiful life and she did her part. You
Yes.
know, she did her part. And like me, I think about my grandmother every day. I have
Yeah.
conversations with her, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So don't be afraid to have those conversations because there's nothing wrong with that.
It's nothing.
Death is supposed to be a
Absolutely.
wonderful thing. It doesn't matter what age it is, but we really
Yeah.
don't see it that way. We haven't been taught that. But death is supposed to be a beautiful thing,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be good or bad, young or old, right?
Yes.
But we do know that to live a long, long life is truly a blessing, right?
It is. It
Okay, so
is.
let's pass and move forward because that's not what I'm talking about you being bold. Now, the last time I talked to you, you were telling me about you were in love, about
Yeah.
your fiance,
Uh-huh.
about someone, and this happened to be someone that you knew previously, right? That had been trying to talk to you for a long time.
For 20
And it's
years.
so, girl, you know what? It's so funny that you said that because I saw a post the other day that someone had posted on TikTok that said, why is it that men will chase you down? Be
Girl,
trying to chase you down,
I'm taking
do
notes right now.
do
What?
everything. I mean, for months and years. And then when they finally get you, they act a fool. They act a fool. Why is that? Why is
Yeah.
that? Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be honest
Okay.
because I know that it's difficult, but you volunteered the information. You
Yeah.
volunteered to come on today, and
Mm-hmm.
you wanted to be open and transparent. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to applaud you for that because it takes a lot. And when I
Mm-hmm.
read what you had to say, what you posted on your Fall in Love with Yourself Again page, you said that a few days after your grandmother passed away, you came home and he was
She
gone.
she she passed away on that Monday. He was the same week he was gone. After I came home from work, he was gone on that Thursday.
Took his clothes, took all his stuff, wrote you a note and left it on the bed. Wasn't even man enough.
Yeah.
He wasn't even man enough to face you.
Mm-mm.
And what was his excuse, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, he said he had to find himself. He had to, get his head together. And because I did at that time, I did not know where he was going. Now, remind you, let me back up a little bit. Earlier that day, that same day, Thursday, while I was at work, I had a panic attack. Now, my grandmother died that Monday. Okay. Monday, I went to work the next day. In my mind, everybody passed away because sometimes I'm kind of set up a little weird,
Mm-hmm.
until something just hit me. But Monday, that happened. Then Tuesday, I went to work. Wednesday, I went to work. Thursday, I went to work. Thursday, that's when it hit me. Thursday, while I was at work, I had a panic attack. I think it was a panic attack. And I was hyperventilating. And one of my coworkers that was working with me that day, he was like, "Oh my God, Joyce, just sit down, just breathe." And, I had to call my mother. I called my mother on FaceTime. I said, "Mom, pray for me right now because I feel like I'm about to die," because I feel like when I took a breath, the life was leaving me or something. It was
Right,
something that was
right.
happening. It was just
An
it was
out of body experience.
exactly. It was
Mm-hmm.
I never experienced this before in my life. And that was my first time ever crying. I don't cry. I would get
Really?
mad first. I would get mad before I cry. But
So you're not a crier.
I'm not a crier.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and because in my mind, everybody gotta die. I gotta die. You gotta die. Da, 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 da. Everybody
Right.
gotta die. You
Right.
know. But then I'm like, oh, grandma is gone. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Who I'm gonna gossip with now? Like,
Right.
who, you know what I mean? And then my fiance met her in the month of December, the day before Christmas. We went to go visit her. hmm
Wow.
He told her that he was gonna marry me. hmm Um, yeah, it was really deep. And I'm the one who cooks every holiday. So I
Mm-hmm.
cooked a huge, 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 huge Christmas meal, and my fiance and I we went to go visit her, and we, gave her a plate. We sat and talked with her, and they kept the bobos. That was in December. January, she gone. It was
Right.
January 2020. I mean, it was January 23rd, I believe it was,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when she passed away. And so, matter of fact, he knew before I knew that she was gone. Yeah, so my mom had talked to him already,
To
and
prepare him so he can help and prepare you.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I came home from work, and that's when they both told me at the same time because they was together at the time, my mom and my fiance. Like, what? Grandma gone? No, that's how that was my reaction. I know that can't be. Yeah. Okay. So Monday happened, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday happens. So I call my mom. Mom, I need you to pray for me right now. Something is happening. I can't understand it. Because I called my fiance first. No
Mm-hmm.
answer. No answer. Whatever. So I call my mom because I know my mom is the only person that can get my mom back together.
Right.
Can help me get centered again. So
Right.
those backwood mamas, they get to speaking in tongues and casting the demons and spells out and whatever is happening. That was what's going on. And so
Yeah.
my coworker that was there with me, he was like he's younger, so he was like, Joyce, are you okay? Oh, what do you need me to do? Uh-huh. Here's a fan. He's fanning me. My mama didn't have a wig on at the time, and my girl, I'm telling you, it was
It was
something.
real.
It was real. We
It
was
was real.
FaceTiming, and my coworker was right there. And he was looking at my mama, and he was looking at me. And what you want me to do, Mr. Lee? What you want? Okay, whatever. I said, Mama, I need you to come get me. I need you to drive to from Tallahassee and drive about 2 hours to come pick me up right now. It was that real. It was that real because I did not want to
Wow.
die on my job.
Right. Right.
That's how. So the reason I had to let you know the atmosphere I was in earlier that Thursday because when after I get myself together, I come home. There's a motherfucking note on the goddamn. Excuse me. It was on the bed. I'm sorry.
I understand, girl.
That's. But anyway, it was a note
That's
on the bed. I'm like, and even when I read the note, I didn't even cry.
I bet you were like, what?
I was like, what? I said, that fuck nigga, whatever. Whatever. So I'm like, okay.
Now let me
It didn't
ask
hit
you this
me.
question.
It didn't hit me.
Did you have did you feel something previous to this day? Did you have because now because what I realized and what I noticed sometimes and you have to remember I didn't meet Kenny till I was 35 and I didn't get married till I was 40. So I was single a
Yeah.
long time. And we kind of know in the back of our minds something ain't right, but we really don't pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
a
so
great
when
question.
we
Why
get
you ask me
outside of it,
that?
when
Why
we
you
get
ask
outside of
me
it,
that?
and now we kind of like past it and we look back, then we realize, you know what? I knew it, but I just thought, I just thought. So did
Yeah,
you?
that's the intuition that God placed in us that we always
Mm-hmm.
ignore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dead
Mm-hmm.
serious.
Yeah.
Because I told him that. You know, I said something told me not even to give you a chance. It's a reason
Mm-hmm.
why we went 20 years, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But because I'm getting older, because I
Right,
knew
right.
you for a long time, because I felt comfortable, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and
And
then
he's
we
older
wanted to,
too. How old is he?
right. No, well, I'm 2 years older than him.
Okay, so how old is that though?
39.
Okay, so that's, you should know
Mm-hmm.
better by then.
Right, absolutely. And then at that time, at that particular time, you know, but to answer your question, absolutely yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we want to ignore that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times God be telling us, mm,
Mm-hmm.
mm.
So let me ask you a question. Be honest. How are you feeling today though?
Today it's it's a progress every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say 100%. I'll
Mm-hmm.
be lying to say, oh girl, I'm feeling good. Oh
Right.
yes. Hell no, I would never say that to you because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, because some mornings I'm feeling 100%. Some, you know, based on my posts, you know, you can tell when oh, she's feeling good today because she wake up in the morning, she encouraging people. For the
Mm-hmm.
past 2 days, I haven't,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in this foreign city that I moved to, you know, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
different,
Yeah. Well,
very,
let me
very
say this.
different.
Don't
So,
beat yourself up because it happens all the time. And this is what I want to say to you, just knowing a little bit of what you told me, if you don't mind. In the future, don't move nowhere for nobody. Make him come to you.
right,
Make everybody and
yeah,
make him come to you because you the queen, you the prize. And
absolutely,
don't ever forget that. And I'm serious about
right,
that. We
yeah,
learned that so hard in so many ways. If we want to go back to the Bible and why in the Bible it says don't have sex before you married and all those things, it's because when you have sex, you are vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? And
mhm,
you attach to that person and then you
mhm.
start having sex, you want the sex because now it started a feeling in you,
It's
you know what I
starting to
mean?
feeling in you,
And
absolutely.
so, mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm.
know, so
And if he
we both
wants
moved
you,
from Tallahassee. We both moved from Tallahassee together to come to a new city together. So we both moved from our hometown to
mm-hmm,
Tallahassee. However, I was going back into the airlines. I have a job.
mm-hmm,
I had a job already secured with Southwest Airlines. This
right,
was going to be my third time as a flight attendant.
right,
You know, so I had tell myself, don't you know I gave up that career to come down here to do something totally different.
mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
And let me
And
say this to
so,
you. Don't don't allow what he did to you. Don't carry it on to the next person. But what you want to do is learn from your mistakes. Like what I did was I learned different along the way. Because if you
hmm
think about all the different things that you've done, not only with him, but other people in the past, and you think about how you are the one who submitted to different things, when you
hmm
hold on to that and make them chase you, make them come to you, make them change their part, not give up, not give up your life, give up your career. Because you
hmm
always, one thing I hate about that situation is you don't ever want to take on that baggage to what he did to you to the next brother.
absolutely.
Cause you gonna meet somebody that loves you and deserves you. You worse than me, girl. I be up here trying to make sure my heart
Ah!
is in the right place,
You
girl.
know, every now and
One
then we look at ourselves like, oh, wait a minute,
Yes.
wait a
One of
minute.
my girlfriends sent me a video this morning. I've seen that little video that's been circulating on social media where the girl was sitting doing the interview and she was talking about God and stuff. And next thing you know, her
Yeah.
wig fell off.
Oh,
I
I
said, oh
follow
my
her. That's
God.
Whitney. Whitney, I follow her. She is so funny. Oh my gosh, I love her.
Girl,
Yes.
I would be no
I
good if this wig fall off my head right now, right?
Let me tell you, when I was fixing my wig tonight, and I'm like, ooh, honey, I do not want to be like Whitney tonight, because baby, she said, oh Lord, oh God.
Exactly. And then
said,
she was back there trying to find the wig.
she was on the couch. She said, did that just happen? He said,
So
yeah, I'm
back
not gonna
to
post this.
I know, right? And they did. Well, of course, I'm sure she allowed them
Of
to, though.
course. Yeah, yeah, she did.
So I know it's difficult for you and you be frustrated and up and down and in and out. And so, what I want you to tell the viewers, right? Give them some encouragement because I'm sure there's a lot of people that has gone through what you're going through and need that word of encouragement because I heard you say you can tell by your post how you feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And let me say something to you. Don't ever give anybody any control over you like that. I
That's
know
right.
that I talked about before you got on here how social media has become an outlet
Mm-hmm.
for people to be able to express themselves. But you have to be careful with that because you use your social media for different things. You
That's
know, you
right.
use your social media for business, you know,
Yeah.
you use your social media for social. And so therefore you don't want to don't and I'm not saying don't show your vulnerability, but sometimes you may want to hold back on that, right? Because and
Right.
the reason why I say that is because you're letting that person have control of you
Mm-hmm.
and you're letting that person see that they're controlling you too.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you feel like you want to post something angry or you're upset or you confused or whatever, text me.
Okay.
I'm giving you permission to text me, but always post something positive because it will feed your mind and help you to be positive and help you to get through that day. Because
That's true.
every day is going to take something positive and it takes one step at a time. You know what I'm
It
saying?
does. It
And
does.
so when you post something negative because that's the way you felt when you woke up, if you think about it, your whole day ends up like that.
That's true.
you know so you have to, and I'm not saying don't feel things because it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
normal, you know what I mean? But text, write it down how you
Absolutely.
feel, burn
Mm-hmm.
it, and continue to
Mm-hmm.
do what you said you were doing, which was praying, asking God to help you, and also asking God to bring you the man that is worthy of
I'm gonna
being with
hold off on
you.
that right now. I'm gonna hold off on that right now.
Why,
I
Joyce? Joyce says she need a break.
I know I need a break for real. Cause you have to understand, I was single for a very, very long time.
I know. But Joyce, don't make what he did because that's what the devil does. He throws stuff in there like that to make people rob, steal, and kill. And let me tell you something. You are a beautiful, powerful, dynamic, smart woman. You have
Thank
a lot
you.
to offer and a lot to give. Do not let this man steal your joy when another man may be right around the corner looking for you and looking at you, and you just cast him aside because of your bitter frustration and anger at this other jerk who really,
Right.
guess what? He did you a favor, Joyce. I
You're
know that
right.
it doesn't seem like it right now. And I know probably a lot of times you're talking in your mind and saying, how did that allow him to do that? Because you have been single. How was I so vulnerable? You know what I mean?
That's true. But I can say this. Can I share this with you?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
through it all, right? So sometimes how the enemy try to come in and when his plan to make your life turmoil, but God says he come in that you may have life and have it more abundantly. So what the
Right.
devil meant for harm, God turned out for good, right? So guess what? I applied during the whole process. I like, oh my God, this man done left me in a city that I do not like.
Don't know
I
anybody
don't know anybody. Okay, I am applying because I was coming to Houston. You remember?
to
You
Houston.
remember?
So you say was you not gonna come now?
Not right now. That was a team effort.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That was a team thing,
Yes, it
you
is,
know.
Krishan.
So now I applied at a position with the city of Jacksonville, Florida,
Okay.
a $50,000 raise, first class.
What?
Yes, ma'am. Out of all this commotion, out of all this heartache, out of all this trauma, out of all this hurt, out of all this embarrassment, out of all everything, God
Let me
got the
tell you
glory at the
something.
end of the day.
Let me tell you something. And I want to talk to you too about embarrassment. Okay. Don't be embarrassed, baby. Don't be embarrassed. I'm telling you personally. Don't be embarrassed because guess what? You have no reason to be embarrassed. None whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
We may not have moved to another city, but we've all done things for uh significant others, whether it's male or female, that
Mm-hmm.
was done, right? And don't feel ashamed. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel any of those things, right? And don't allow anybody to make you feel that way,
Right.
okay? Because at the end of the day, people only tell you what they want you to know.
That's right.
Lots of people go through things, right? And they're not willing to be open,
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable, and share. And you know why? Because they've been so critical of other people that they don't want nobody to see what's in their backyard and all they dirt.
Absolutely.
So don't let nobody make you feel like anything because it
Abs-
can happen to any of us. Beautiful, big, tall, little, skinny, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
right.
It had nothing to do with you, it's who he was. And be glad, right? That it didn't happen 5 years from now and 10 years from now.
And that's
Or
what I think about. That's what I think about. Let me tell you something.
after
When
you
my
got married, after you spend money, after you done bought a house,
yo,
move to Houston.
Miss Lord, that's what I'm saying. A lot of times we have to stop and realize we have to give God all the praise. I'm not going to start preaching because I can't get into that, that mode. But I'm going to. We got another guest coming, so I'm trying to
Okay.
keep it together. But I'm itching in my seat. You feel
Right.
me? So what I'm
Yes,
trying to tell the listeners tonight, you got to keep moving. You
you
got to
do.
keep going. My favorite scripture, I'm telling you, y'all, is Psalms 37. It's Psalms
Mm.
37. I read it every morning.
Read it to us,
I'm not.
baby.
You want me to read it to you? I was going to
Read
tell the
it to
people
me,
to read
cause
it to me.
read it to me, honey.
It says, "Fret not yourself because of evildoers. Be not envious of wrongdoers, for they will soon fade like the grass and wither like the green herb. And trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the
Mhm.
Lord. Trust in Him, and He will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light, as your justice has noonday. Now it goes on and
Mhm.
on and on and on and on.
Yes,
Because
yes.
sometimes when you're hurt, one thing about Joyce Lee, I have done some stupid stuff in my lifetime.
We all
But
have,
as we
girl.
but as we get older, we have to stop and think, and we have to rationalize things like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, you can't do that no more. You're not in your 20s,
No,
you're not in your 30s.
right.
A lot of times we just have to, when people wrong us, we for real, we have to give it to God.
Yes, we do.
We have
Yes, we
to.
do. Yes, we
Because
do.
if not, we're not going to be able to handle it right.
We're not gonna be able to handle it right. And guess what? Karma does exist,
It
right?
does.
And
It does
so
exist.
you don't just because that person did bad doesn't mean that you go and do bad. Because
That's
what
right.
happens is a lot of times you're cursed, not necessarily you, but your children,
That's right.
your children's children,
Mm-hmm.
your children's children's children. What you do right now, how you act right now, is going to affect your future,
That's
you
right.
and your future. And in this blessing, you got rid of some baggage that you didn't need and you received a job. And can you say increase?
Increase.
Congratulations, girl.
Thank you, girl.
Congratulations, girl. You know what? When I read this, I was like, what? Like, I was just waiting for you to come down here, Joyce. So
I
now you get
know.
ready to go. So now you get ready to go back to
Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay. And so you
Yes.
have your family down there, right?
Well, they're only 2 hours away. My mom.
Okay, that's closer. You're closer.
Uh-huh. Yes,
Okay,
we're
that's good,
closer.
girl. Girl, keep your
Mm-hmm.
head up.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on here sharing. And I
That
appreciate you being honest and transparent because people are good hide behind makeup and smile and hair and clothes and stuff, you know?
that's why I like Nene Leakes from Atlanta Housewives.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
She be keeping it real.
Miss Moore, I'm gonna have to call you and tell you now.
Yes.
I did do something. I had to ask the Lord to forgive me. I'm not gonna. I don't want to promote any violence on this platform. Oh, I had to get my 21 in now.
Oh Lord! But you know what? Let me tell you something. Now, let me just tell you something now.
And then I had to go on my knees and be like, Lord, forgive me now.
But did it really make you feel better though?
It didn't.
Yeah, it did.
It really didn't. Because if you think about it now, the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a really relationship with God, and you're like, okay, Lord, I know that wasn't right. I know I wasn't
you're
supposed
human.
to do that.
You're human.
We're human. That's what I'm saying. We are human. We're gonna make mistakes. But as long as you realize what you're doing and say, okay, Lord, please forgive me.
I know that was wrong.
I know that was wrong. Because see, what my mind and my body set up, somebody's going to feel it. Okay? And then, because I know I don't bother nobody. Like
this
I say,
wrath, huh?
You know?
But you know what? This next young lady that's coming up, right? This next young lady that's coming up has been married for 45 years. So get your pen and paper ready because I have some questions for her to ask for people like even you and me, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been married. So Kenny and I have been together 18 years, but I've been married 13 years.
Wow.
And it's difficult. It is difficult. It is not easy dealing with these men. So you get ready to take some notes. I'm getting ready to take some notes.
I got my notes.
We're gonna have a conversation after this. I can't wait to talk to you. Okay, I can't wait to talk to you. And let me tell you something. Don't let that man steal your joy.
I'm not. Well, I'm slowing down on dating right now, honey.
We'll slow down on dating. Get to know you some more. Get to know what you really want, right? Get to know the God. God will tell you when He's the one. Believe me, you'll know. You'll know.
Because I was minding my own business.
Yeah, don't we always do though? That's when they come in and rob, steal, and that's.
You're right.
And you know what? As women, we so desperately want to be loved and be in love and be in a marriage and be in a relationship that sometimes we ignore some things, or sometimes these guys, they good. I mean, they know how to do, they know what to say. Girl. They know what you want to hear.
Period. What?
All of that. So he lives in the same city. He just moved out and lives in the same city where you are now.
He's back in Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, girl, he didn't went back?
Girl, he went back. Left me in this foreign country. Like the city in the Bible where God had to turn into a pillar of salt.
You so crazy. When do you start your new job?
Girl, March 27th.
Okay, good for you. So that's right around the corner.
Around the corner.
I'm having a senior moment right now.
It's okay.
Ooh. I can't wait for this to be over. My mother said she didn't go through it, but I sure am. Anyway, thank you so much, Joyce Lee. Get ready to take some notes because we have this wonderful, dynamic, beautiful woman that's getting ready to come up right now that's going to give us a lot of good information that we need to know. Miss Hazel, Miss Hazel. Are you there, Miss Hazel?
Yes, I am, Miss Lloyd. I am here.
I'm having a senior moment, Miss Hazel.
Well, it's gotten kind of warm in my atmosphere too. So maybe it's just that also because I never went through hot flashes.
You didn't? You know what, Miss Hazel? My mom said the same thing. She didn't go through it.
I never had any.
And I just wonder if, okay, so I don't have any biological children. So I wonder if it's just my hormones, that's just.
It could be. I'm learning a lot about hormones.
Well,
yeah,
I
they
do know
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I do know that sugar and different things make you have the hot flashes, make them come on. Yes. And so this coffee I'm drinking may be a reason why I'm having one of these hot flashes. But how are you this evening, Ms. Hazel?
I am doing great.
It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you.
When I saw your post on the Fall in Love with Myself Again website, I just was immediately like, wow. She's been married 45 years. She's 67 years old, and she has an autistic child.
Yes.
Like, that is a lot.
And that's not 57, that's 67.
67.
Right.
Yes, 67. You 67, but you've been married 45 years, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want to hear about that, Miss Hazel.
Well,
how did you stay married 45 years?
First of all, just let me say I am so happy to be here. I am learning a lot from the Falling in Love with Myself Again community. Mm-hmm. And I just love being here. So many resources and everything right at your fingertips.
Well, we enjoy you being here.
And I really don't feel like I have a lot to say tonight because 67 years is a long time. And you can't tell your whole story in a little bit of time.
No.
But I learned so much from the lady, Miss Joyce, that was just on. I was saying, what am I going to talk about? And you all were mentioning about how everybody has something, that's going on. But if you don't share it, you feel like you're the only one that it's happening to. And that's not so. But she touched on a lot of things at her young age.
Right.
That, I know it's true that everybody probably goes through in their life at one time or the other. But all of these experiences will come at you in different realms, but they will be like individual to you. And I just want to say before I forget, I praise God because I feel like I have lived a protected life.
Amen.
Protected. I mean, like a fence is around me.
Okay.
And she has been in a foreign city for a short period of time. I moved away from my home at the age of 18 years old.
Wow.
I came to my present city to go to college.
Okay.
No family. Well, actually, I don't have any family now.
Wow.
But I did have one sister that was here, and she passed away a few years later.
Oh, wow.
So I have been here for at least 40 years on my own.
Okay. In Georgia.
Family.
Not in Georgia.
Yes,
you in Savannah.
Savannah, Georgia. Yes. And I'm in Jackson, Tennessee. But,
okay, so you're in Jackson, Tennessee right now?
Yes, I am.
But you're from Savannah, Georgia.
I'm from Savannah, Georgia, and that's a long way from Jackson. You can't
Okay.
just up and jump in your car.
Right.
You have to get a plane or something, if you
Okay.
really want to
Okay.
have to get down there.
Mhm.
But at age 18, you're not doing that. And long time ago, I don't come from like a wealthy family or anything like that. Matter of fact, I came from a large family,
Right.
but ever since then, I've been on my own.
Right.
Yeah. So how did I do 45 years of marriage? I feel like I have a lot to tell about those 4 years at college. I can help some young person away from home from the first time.
Mhm.
What goes on the college campus? What goes on with these people that's supposed to be educating you? I can look back over my life and say, praise God. Like she was saying, what was meant for bad turned out for good, So yes, but I met my husband about 11 months before I finished college.
Wow.
So I
he went to
finished
school
my
with you?
senior year married.
Okay.
Yes, so I was only 21 years old then.
Wow. So you got married very young.
Yes, very young. So all of this dating and stuff you all are talking about, I don't know. I had a few bad experiences before I met my husband. But like I said before, praise God. What was meant for worse and bad and ugly turned out for good. So I met him and we dated a short while. So it was just time.
Right.
But the main thing that I want to tell somebody is do not let anyone make the major decisions in your life. Moving away from your family at such a young age and so far away, you don't know what's going to happen. Never in my life did I imagine that my sister would pass away. I would meet a man and I would be here for the rest of my life with no type of support.
Wow, none.
So,
yeah.
So that's why I say God, but God, I'm healthy, but I am a cancer survivor.
So tell me about that. How long have you been a cancer survivor?
1999, since 1999.
Yes, praise God.
Was 23 years, might be 24 years last October. So
now, is it hereditary?
24 years. Pardon me?
Is it hereditary in your family or no?
I don't believe so, but I do have a sister that has gone on from breast cancer. The one that I was just talking about. This is what took her life at the age of 36.
Wow, very young.
Very young. And I don't know whether they say things are changing,
right?
For especially the Black women. It doesn't seem like it's changing.
Yeah, because it hits our it hits our community very hard.
Right.
Yes.
And So
let me ask you this question. You have one son?
I have two sons. My oldest son is he just turned 43.
Okay.
Me and him have the same birthday. Everything happens to me in January.
Okay.
So I don't know. My mom and dad must have got together in the spring, and when January hit,
that was it.
I'm not a cold person, though. It's funny. January, wasn't January cold?
Yes.
Ooh, Lordy.
It was really cold for us in Texas in December.
Yes,
usually doesn't get
ice storm here.
Oh, really?
But everything happens in January. I was born in January. My first son was born in January. My anniversary is in January.
Oh, wow. So everything is in January.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all that together.
Give us some more advice about, because you got you got a lot of knowledge being married.
I got a lot of knowledge.
Years. You got a lot of knowledge.
I don't really talk a lot. but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's been a accumulation of just listening
Mm-hmm.
and being alone.
Mm-hmm.
I function pretty good.
Right.
Because even in my big family, you know, when you have a lot of people there and
Yeah.
limited resources, you can still feel alone.
Mm-hmm.
So I've
Mm-hmm.
always been individual thinking,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I do that with my faith, with all of my thoughts and my philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very well easily persuaded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Mm-hmm.
trust God. Put God first, and everything will come together all right. That's the way it has happened for Hazel.
Now, are you retired?
Yes, I am retired. My background is in business, and
Okay.
so I've always had a side hustle. I
Okay.
tried to do the 9 to 5, but with an
Mm-hmm.
autistic child
Right.
and being alone in an environment with no family core, there's
Mm-hmm.
always the babysitting and
Right.
all of that. And I really appreciate the fact that I had to give that up, because people need to train their own children, especially
Yes.
nowadays. You're
Mm-hmm.
sending your
Mm-hmm.
children off to school, and you don't,
Yeah.
and they're teaching all kind of things,
Right.
you
Well, and
know.
then you putting it into the teacher's hand, and it's not
Right,
solely their
right,
responsibility.
right.
It starts at home first.
Yes. And then
Yes.
also with my autistic son, we have the same problem, because
Mm-hmm.
we have been his caregivers since
Mm-hmm.
the age very young.
Right.
You know, he came home a well baby, and so I have
Mm-hmm.
tons of experiences that I can share on what new
Mm-hmm.
parents need to look out for.
Right.
Uh,
Well, tell us some. Well, tell us some, because how did you find out that he was even artistic?
Right,
Is it
right. Like I
yeah.
was saying, he came home well, beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
uh, chocolate brown, curly
Mm-hmm.
hair, just a nice afro like mine. I mean, his
Mm-hmm.
hair was long as mine when he. It seems that way. I got pictures, and
Right.
yeah, and everything was going great. He was like a little bow-legged, you know, but he
Mm-hmm.
started walking, and we thought we had a genius because he was
Mm.
reading. He could pick
Wow.
up a book or the newspaper, and he was just
Wow.
reading it. We never knew whether he understood it or not. But
Mm-hmm.
then around the age of 18 months, he
Okay.
started, you know, just staring into space, kind of playing with objects and stuff over and
Mhm,
over and
mhm,
over, flicking his hands, which he still
mhm,
does, you know, like
mhm,
this right here, you know,
mhm, mhm.
looking and doing like that, you know. And so from the time of 18 months, we didn't know what was going on. And so we waited, which they say is too long. We thought it would
Right.
go away. Back
Mhm.
then, you know, they didn't have all the early intervention that they have
Yes.
now, but you
Yes.
still need to know what to look for.
Right. But let me ask you this question. Was it also with early intervention? I can imagine too, back then too, it felt kind of strange because it wasn't really popular. It wasn't really something that you saw all the time.
Well,
So did you?
yes. And you know, you read about how people put their kids away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're shamed because they have some
Mhm.
type of cognitive learning disability or mental
Mhm.
illness, and
Mhm.
I've gone through all of that with the school
Mhm.
system. They were
Mhm.
labeling people. You know, they
Right.
used to call everybody retarded.
Right. Back then, I can
Back
imagine. Yeah.
then, they called it
Yeah.
retardation. And I'm
Mhm.
like saying, how do you know that he's retarded and you haven't even tried to teach him anything?
Right. Or even test
You
him.
know,
Right.
but this is what they do with these psychological testing and all of that.
Yeah.
And they do a lot
Mhm.
of that. And so I have tons of information about what you
Mhm.
go through developing IEPs, individual
Mhm.
education programs, and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
a lot.
Well, I
It's a
applaud you for
lot.
not giving up because a lot of people
Right,
give up,
exactly.
or a lot of people don't want to
I'm
be
not tooting my
honest.
own home, but for me
Right.
to be sane and to be
Hmm.
together with my husband, a lot of marriages don't last when they have children
Right.
with special needs.
Right.
But my husband has always been there. And for the longest time,
Blessing.
like I said, I wasn't born rich and I'm still not rich.
Hmm.
With a child like this, my husband was the only breadwinner
Hmm.
because, again, I didn't have the family support system. You know, you
Right.
take your kids to grandma,
Right. Right.
you know.
But you lived in a foreign city.
I lived in a foreign city. Of course,
Hmm.
you know, my husband has family here,
Hmm.
but, you know, that's another thing you have to go
Yeah.
through as a married person, dealing with
Yeah.
in-laws and that sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
like I
Don't
said, I
always
can't
work
tell my
out.
whole story, and some of it I don't want to tell.
Let me tell you something. I bet you your story is powerful. It'll help a lot of people, and it
Exactly.
probably needs to be told because what happens is a lot of time people feel afraid to be honest about their story.
Exactly.
And see, your story right now can help someone because I applaud you still. Because let me tell you, I can fast forward to today. I know people who don't want to be honest about things that are going on with their children
Right.
and take the time out to go get their children the help that they need in
Right.
order to be successful. Because how old is your son?
My son is 41 years old.
So
I
that
had two
was
kids really
yeah.
close together. They are a year and 9 months apart. And
Mm-hmm.
see, I always had in my back of my head, if I was going to have kids, you know, tell the truth, I wasn't up on having kids. I
Right.
came up here to go to school, get
Right.
my education, and
Right.
get my 9 to 5 and make some money and live on my own and take care of Hazel. Because
Right.
I don't bother people. And I've never, like you always talking about, I've never run after men.
Right.
Men always found me,
I know that's right.
you know, so
And so
that
let's
was never a problem, but then it can be a problem, you know,
yes, yes.
especially
So
when you're there by yourself,
right.
you
Well,
know.
give us some marital advice because I want to know how do you stay married 45 years so?
I'm not the best. Like I said, I give all the glory to God because
Yeah.
I know if it was Hazel, I probably would have done some stupid stuff like well, I'm gonna get me a rich man. I'm you know
You
what?
just being honest, huh?
You know, something like that, or I can
Hmm.
do this on my own, you know,
Right.
and you know, but then like my first son, I haven't talked about him, you know, my autistic son, them being so close, it affected
Uh-huh.
my older son
Oh,
too,
I'm sure. I'm sure because he wasn't
because
really
you
getting
know,
that
he didn't have
attention.
the friends that you
Hmm.
have when you have a sibling brother,
Right.
you know, and then the
And probably the
world
attention too,
then the
right?
world is after our young black men anyway.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they
So,
are.
yeah, but he
Yes, they
is doing
are.
fine. He's a lot like me. I don't bother anybody. I stay to myself. And that's because the Lord has given me a real life with real problems. And what
Yeah.
don't kill you will make you strong.
Amen to that.
So you're talking to a very strong person.
I could
And
tell.
you have to be that way to be married 45 years.
Yes, you do.
You have to be strong in the Lord.
Yes, you do.
Because if you're not, then you can run off. You can jump from the fire, from the pot to the fire. It can always be worse.
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
like, I came up here. I wasn't a rich girl. My husband is just a working fellow.
Mm-hmm.
But his work gave me more than my mom and dad gave me. And so
Yeah.
I'm just a straight person.
Yeah, sometimes
never
rich
really
is not
just,
always about money, though.
right.
Sometimes
It's not about
you're
money,
rich.
but you know, when you're
Yeah,
young, that's what you're doing, and
yeah,
that's what they teach us. Go to
yeah. That's
school,
yeah.
and earn money and do better than
Mm-hmm.
your parents. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where my mind was.
Right.
But over
Right.
the years, I've always had everything that I needed and wanted. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, we lived on one income.
Mm-hmm. So what
And
did you?
mostly that's what we're doing now. We're on retirement
Right.
now.
Right. Which is a blessing, right? Because at least
Yes,
you're
it
able
is a
to
blessing.
retire.
I've always been able to keep my freedom, you
Right.
know, by me not being tied to those 9 to 5s that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I had so much freedom to make my own decisions, to
Mm-hmm.
read and gather information anytime I needed,
Yes.
to go and
Yes.
come when I wanted to, you know.
Yes.
So, like I said, nothing but the Lord.
Nothing but the Lord,
Nothing
right?
but the Lord.
Well, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. I really appreciate you sharing because let me tell you something. When I read your story, I was like, okay, you know what? See, what I do is I always try to think about when I feel like my situation is bad, I realize that there are people out there that are dealing with a lot more than what I'm dealing with. And so it helps me to appreciate my situation more and work through it, when I think about what other people have and don't have, and then to touch back on what you're saying right now about what's going on in this world with our Black men.
Yeah.
We're under attack, men and women, our skin color, period. And so a lot of times it's very difficult. I can't say as a human being I'm not affected by it, because I am, because it's happening to people around me. It happens on a day-to-day basis, and you see it all the time on social media. So we can't deny
You cannot
that.
deny it.
No, because you can't say that it doesn't affect you, because that says that you don't feel.
Exactly. You all had such a great conversation, though. It was totally different than mine, but then, like I said, so many things we have in common. But if we never open up and share, all of that is just lost. And
yes, it is.
Again, in the Black community, we need to tell our stories. That way people will understand that, a lot of people is wondering, was it always that way? Well, it wasn't all that way. It's because people didn't share and let people know what was going on.
Oh, in the Black community, even in my household, still this way. Not even my household, but in my family, period. Everything is hush hush.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody.
Right.
Don't discuss it with anybody.
Right.
Keep it to yourself,
Right.
And that's not really a healthy thing to do.
No, you got to trust somebody, God first, and then,
you do have to trust somebody. And it's okay to go, and we have to realize that it's okay to sit down and talk to someone professional.
Exactly.
We're not professionals here. We're just sharing.
And that's one thing that I am finding in the Falling in Love with Myself community. The resources are from professional people.
Yes.
And sometimes they're from people just like myself,
Yes.
but have the courage enough to share. And yeah, I think you have been seeing my little videos,
Yes, I have.
When we work from home, we need to get up and exercise a little bit. Oh, yes. And I want to say also, I am praying for Miss Key Clark. Miss Key Clark is in our Tava family, and she just lost her brother.
Okay, we're gonna have to pray for her
earlier in the week. Yes. And I do want to encourage the Lots in their situation, in their
yes, they're having a difficult time. They're having a really difficult time.
But
and
the
I understand
prayer community in the Falling in Love community is there.
Yes.
Please go in there and just pray for somebody, if not just for yourself,
Yes.
Pray for somebody. Prayer is
important.
Effective, especially when the righteous do it,
That's right. That's right.
Don't hold all those blessings in.
Don't hold any of it in. I appreciate it. It was a blessing talking to you this evening.
I feel like we just started, so
I love your smile.
Stories, but maybe a year from now, we'll come back and see what has changed.
You know what? A lot is going to change, because it all starts with one, right? And this is the first Thursday that we had this coffee and conversations. And I was so nervous. Like, this is something that I'm not really good at. And
right. I didn't think I had anything to talk about.
No. And then once you get on here, you realize you got a lot to talk about. And we're talking
Right.
this already 9:20, right? I'm like, where did the time go?
Oh my goodness.
Where did the time go?
Yeah,
I was supposed to be a 2-hour call.
I was getting a little hot, but yeah.
Yes.
But it's not hot flashes.
I know, right? I know, but mine come and go, thank God. And I'm glad it came, and I'm glad it went, right?
Yep.
I appreciate
How y'all like
you
my
so
hair?
much. Your hair is cute, baby. You look like Foxy Brown.
Good.
Well, you go ahead. I enjoyed talking to you, and I hope to talk to you again. Beautiful. I love your story, and I love how you just stay encouraged, and I hope that you encourage somebody tonight.
Yes, I'm inviting everybody I can think of, and I'm sharing as much as I can.
Well, good, Miss Hazel, and I appreciate that, okay?
Thank you, Miss Shante. It's great to talk one-on-one with you, and you are beautiful also. I love your hair. When I met my husband, I was wearing a wig. I don't have any problem with wigs, but I do love my hair.
I wish I could wear my hair like that when I used to wear it very close to my head like a boy, like cut really low.
Yeah, I've done that also.
I have a form of alopecia. It's not alopecia, it's another form of alopecia. So what's happening to me is, you know how you have these men with hair around here,
right?
But no hair. That's my issue. And I wish I could just shave it all off, you know what I mean, and wear it just really low, but it's discolored right here.
Yeah,
it's discoloration.
I think after a while, it probably, the coloring comes together.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah,
because I don't have a problem with wearing a wig. I don't have a problem with that.
But what I find is I want them to look just like my regular hair.
Yeah.
So I'm like combing them, and they're never just like my hair. So
well, no, I love your hair, and I love the color. The color is just absolutely fabulous, Miss Hazel, just like you are. You have a great evening, okay?
Okay. Thanks everybody for listening.
Yes. Bye, Miss Hazel. Okay, everybody. Look, I didn't realize I had been running my mouth that long, right? I was just so shocked about Joyce Lee's story because I remember her talking January, I think it was January 6th, we had the vision board party, and she was so excited, about her fiance. And so I was just so shocked. And I appreciate her being honest and transparent and willing to be vulnerable and talk about her situation. And that's what Falling in Love with Yourself Again platform is about. It's about sharing and caring, getting connected with people that have stories that maybe may not be your story, but something that you can learn, right? Just like Miss Hazel said, that she learned something from Joyce's story, which is always, always so important. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Make sure you share. Invite people to the Falling in Love with Myself Again platform. We're going to be giving out the information for you to participate in the $10,000 challenge, right? You got to get your box though, right? Go to fallinginlovewithmyselfagain.com and register. Get your box and get ready to be fine. Woo! I can show you $10,000. But anyway, you guys have a great evening. I'm sorry for holding you so long. Next week, we're going to keep it very short, an hour. We're going to keep it an hour, right? You all have a great evening, and I will see you again soon. Bye.